What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with the overall market and talk about the current trend that's shifting right now. I'm also going to provide you guys with a very important warning for tomorrow as we have some more very important data coming out. But before I break anything down about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. The offer ends in just about 3 days from now, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So in the morning, I told you all the market may see a drop and a bounce that actually it did play out, but now the market is starting to sell off afterwards. So we did technically see the market like pull back and get this small bounce right here. SPY went all the way down to 435, went all the way back up to the mid 437 area, very close to that. So got a nice bounce today before this thing started the aggressive sell-off, and that's what's starting to happen right now after some auction news and also some big geopolitical issues. But I want to focus now on something else that's very important. So the market is selling off, and there's likely more downside coming as the 4-hour time frame is becoming more and more bearish. We're about to get a bearish cross in the PPO, especially if this continues. And especially if we break below the 20 EMA, that's going to be very bearish. And we're approaching some critical support closer to like 433, so long as we hold below 434. So the market's looking more bearish, market's looking weaker, starting to pull back a bit. And with that going on, I just want to warn you all that we have something big coming out for tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the big bank earnings. We have JP Morgan Chase, we have PNC, we have Citi, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, lots of big bank earnings. This is going to cause a very big move in the markets. If a lot of these earnings are just like they cause some downside, some of these banks end up dropping, especially like JP Morgan, this could cause the whole market to start slowing down, especially the finance sector. That's going to have a big effect on the whole market, the performance for tomorrow. So I just want to warn you, this is going to come out before the market opens tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow is going to be Friday, the 13th of October. So we will see how this plays out. If you want to hold any options through this, that is your choice. But it is going to be kind of risky, so just be very careful. So now let's talk about how SPY is looking. This thing got a very aggressive sell-off, and I just want to mention that on the 4-hour time frame, we have a bearish divergence that established on the 4-hour time frame, and also on the hourly, there's a bearish divergence on SPY. So we started pumping and pumping, and then we established this bearish divergence right here. You guys can see it right here on the RSI and also on the MACD. This thing is starting to sell off, so we're going to be watching some very key levels. So when I go back to the 4-hour time frame, you guys can see this thing has broken below our support at 435, and it's looking a bit weaker. So we're going to be watching 434 as supports. If that fails us, 433, 432.5, and then 430 are going to be some key supports. It's looking a bit more bearish, so I just want to warn you guys about that. Downside seems more imminent. So now with this shift in market structure, we've broken below our channel right here on SPY. So there's a risk of this thing eventually coming down to 433 to 432 by tomorrow. So just be very careful looking at this trend as the market is weakening. Watch 434 as support, and now 435 is going to be resistance alongside 436.5. Right now we're looking a bit more bearish, so watch all these levels very carefully. On the triple Q, this is also looking a bit more bearish because we got rejected off this. We came just under 374. Now we got this rejection after lots of choppy price action today. The 4-hour is starting to turn more bearish, and we're just barely holding 370 at the time I'm recording this. If this breaks, and it looks like it's going to break, we're going to be watching 368 on the triple Q. Market is trying to turn, and if that breaks, 366 is going to be on the table as downside seems imminent once again. For Nvda stock, this is also looking a bit more bearish. This thing got a nice pop. We were talking about this thing approaching 474. Instead, we went up to almost 476, a little bit higher than expected. But now we're coming right back down, testing this trend line right here. So right now we're treating 470 as our support. If that breaks, we could come all the way back down towards this 466 area. So watch that very carefully. Nvidia is starting to slow down, but watch this trend line acting as support. For resistance, watch 472.5, 474, then 476 is 3 very tight resistance levels. As the market is turning, this could slow Nvidia down tomorrow. So just be very careful, guys. I just wanted to warn you about that. For Aapl, before I talk about Tesla, Apple's also starting to turn. We were talking about Aapl potentially filling this gap up here. getting very close to this 182 area. We actually pretty much just came close to filling this gap. I think we came just short of it. But anyways, we basically made the move that I was talking about, this nice push to the upside. Now we're getting the rejection, which came afterwards. So with this rejection, we're going to be watching 180 very carefully. This is where we have this support off this rising wedge. If 180 fails on Aapl, it's going to come down to 178 or so. And 177.5 is going to be key support. That's where we have this demand zone. If that breaks, it's going to start sinking to the 176s. But for now, watch this 180 support. That's going to be very key for Aapl. And watch 181.5 as resistance. Apple's looking a little weaker, so watch this change in market structure and watch that support very carefully as we're starting to downtrend a little bit. Now for Tesla stock, Tesla's also starting to turn. We got a very nice bounce on Tesla. It basically came down earlier to this 260 area. It bounced back up to 265. That's why we have this wick right here. I was talking about that bounce today. And then it started to sell off later on after new auction news came out and other factors. So we're going to be watching 260 on Tesla. It's going to be very key because we have this confluence of support. We also have this channel on Tesla, right? It looks like this. Very, very nice channel. We're going back and forth and back and forth. Now, if Tesla ends up breaking below this 260 support, we're going to be watching this thing come all the way down to 257.5 to 258. And below that, 255 is on the table. Now, looking at this imbalance down here towards this 257 area, this could drag Tesla down to 257. That could be a very, very good target. So watch that very carefully if Tesla does break below 260 between now and tomorrow. All right. So with that said, guys, I just wanted to warn you about that. Now, Tesla also has this resistance at this 262.5 to 263 area. So watch that as resistance alongside 265. As of right now, Tesla's selling off a bit more. So we're just going to be very careful going into tomorrow. So I just wanted to warn you about this. Don't forget that tomorrow we have some major big bank earnings. And this could cause a very, very big trend for the markets, in my opinion. So what is likely going to happen to the markets? To be honest with you all, the market is likely going to pull back a bit. Completely normal as we're starting to look weaker. But here's the thing. I'm still leaning more bullish for November/December, and we're just about 2 weeks away from November. We're very close to being 2 weeks away. We're getting closer to November, so things will shift once we reach November. For now, we're seeing another healthy pullback, completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary, and SPY is starting to curl, so watch these supports very carefully. All right, so watch this 4 hour. The MACD is about to curl as well off this bearish divergence that established today, and we're going to be watching to see how the market ends up shifting. All right, so get ready for the big bank earnings. If you want to hold overnight, that's your choice, guys. It's your choice entirely. I'm not going to pressure you to do anything. I'm not giving any financial advice. So we will see what happens. The market is starting to shift. And with that said, just get ready for some more interesting volatility tomorrow. All right, thank you for listening. I'll see you guys very soon, and peace out.